Previously on the Frontier Farmer. And you recall that we heard from the Forestry Commission, so I've got back in touch with them and said, yep, we're happy to help them out. So we'll hop in the TAF and head on over to the distribution centre to see what they've got for us. So, looks like we've got some sort of bulldozer here with a blade on the front. Quite a nice looking truck. New device, it's called a yarder. They've brought us a wood crane. Hopefully once we're finished, we're going to have a nice track. Yeah, I think we need to clear some of the foliage that is around this area. Let's crack on, get some trees cut down, get them delimbed and stumps cleared. And we are finished. But there we go. We have cleared this entire space. Next time is probably going to be focused on getting these logs loaded and taken to our wood storage yard. Hopefully going to be able to use the wood crane. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Frontier Farmer at the Dark Forest. It's now December, and I've been admiring the sunrise this morning coming through the trees. Always does look very beautiful. Today is another busy day where we're going to be working on the next stage of the settlement build. We have got to clear the logs out of there, which we cut down and sort of nudged all together last time, and we used our handy skidder for that. Now I've got a few logs to collect on the way, the ones that we had to trim down to make space for our track. And yet the truck is still parked here. Oh, I think might have left the headlights on this. Hopefully the battery has not ran down. Is it the headlights, or is it just a very dim glow? Maybe they're on all the time. The cab light? Oh, that's a bit odd. Anyway, we'll sort that out later. Seems like it's okay for now. Yes, we've got a few logs scattered around here. So plan is on the way up to the site, I'm just going to grab these and winch them up there. And then we'll be grabbing the wood crane, because we've got to get these logs loaded. And I think we'll be using our log trailer that we have back at the homestead. So yeah, potentially we might use the new truck that the Forestry Commission have provided to us. Yep, let's scoot on down here. Probably need to switch the winch on and get it a little bit closer. And yep, we'll pick up the rest of the logs on the way up. The second one to winch on, and I think there's probably another 3 or so. We'll see. Get that winched a bit closer, I reckon. Right, we've managed to acquire 6 logs, so it's a little bit of a heavy load, but I am just doing a wide berth turn to get them lined up with the rest of the log pile over here. And yes, we have got a lot of wood that we've got to start clearing. Now I think I'll keep this first 6 attached, because we are going to need to drag the wood underneath the wood crane that we'll be bringing over here with the truck. In fact, I probably will have to unhitch them, because we are going to be cutting them down to the length of our log trailer. And yes, we also want to butt them up against each other, make sure they are nice and stacked. Right, I am struggling a little bit here, but we've just got the last few inches tackled. We can lower the blade on the front, and just get these shunted in together. It is very good, this skidder, but once you get above probably 4 or 5 logs, it does start to struggle, and I don't blame it, to be honest. We've definitely been using it beyond its usual loads, but it's a mighty skidder, so served us proud. Right, that is the logs all stacked in there. Let's drive on back. In fact, actually, I think we'll park up here because we'll need the skidder. We'll run back down the track and get the truck. Ooh, well, this track is a lot longer than I remember, probably because I was jogging down here and it felt like a long old track. This is the Forestry Commission's truck that they've lent us, so we are going to hop in here, fire it up. We can drop the low loader off. That's where we carted the bulldozer here from, and yeah, we'll have to take the bulldozer back at some point once we've finished with it. It might come quite handy in shunting some logs. We'll have to see. Right, it does look like the lights are on this, but yeah, we haven't. Oh, there we go. Turn them off now. That's pretty good. Must have extra batteries in this thing so it can keep the lights running for long hours while you're working. So let's get on back to the distribution centre and pick up the wood crane. Here we are. And oh, seems like they've left us another piece of equipment. Must not have noticed when we were busy previously working on that area. And it looks to be some sort of wood chipper. Let's take a look. A Vermeer BC 1500. And yeah, it's got an opening here, so I think that's a wood chipper. It's got a little cannon on the top, pipe that's going to blast the wood chips into a trailer. So that's pretty handy. We might have to make use of that. Potentially some of the offcuts, the smaller sections of the wood that we are going to have to chop off so we can get the wood loaded onto the trailer. We obviously can't have the full length of the trees loaded on there. We will have to chop off the tops, keeping the main bulky section, and then yeah, whatever is left over we can potentially wood chip. That's quite a nice option. Now, of course, they did leave us the yarder, but I don't think we're going to make use of that unless we've got some really heavy lifting to do and dragging logs into position. But cool, this wood crane is very heavy. Glad we've got a Forestry Commission truck, because our truck could potentially struggle. I say that, but it's done plenty of log journeys before, so I'm sure it would manage. Yep, let's get this back, and we can get it unfolded and set up so we are ready to do some log lifting. Now, this is a heavy load, so it's a slow old journey, and I think we're going to have a bit of a tight turn here because this is a long trailer, but we need to make it. So let's take a wide berth. No problem. No problem at all, just a little bit of slowness from the power. Pulling up to the settlement area, and it really is looking like we've got a major construction project on. We've got the bulldozer, all the barriers, this log pile, and now this massive wood crane running up. And yeah, this is going to be quite an interesting site for us to develop. So I think we want to pull up somewhere about here, leaving a bit of space at the end so we've got some turning space. But yes, we need a bit of space either side so we can channel the logs in under the wood crane, and so we can also get out of here. Right, I think this is probably the best spot, so let's unfold this wood crane and get it constructed. And there we go. What a beast this is. It is a good fit for this area, but it is very large. But we have got some large logs to haul, so this is probably going to work very well. My plan is we'll use the skidder to drag logs underneath it on one side, and then the other side we will have the truck and log trailer. Oh, I'm getting snagged on the crane. Don't want to be damaging it. This is Forestry Commission property. But yep, on the other side we'll have the log trailer, and we can go onto there, get a load of trees, and then we can take them back to the wood storage yard where Tim's going to chop them all down to size for us and store them. I think we'll park this trailer up over here so it's well out of the way. But we will of course get the log crane deconstructed once we are done with it. So let us unhitch here. There we go. And yeah, I think for today we'll probably try and utilise the Forestry Commission truck as much as possible. And we'll go grab the log trailer from the homestead. Big Yalem. I don't know what that warning sign says. It seems to be in another language. But yep, sure it's saying something important. Right, the log trailer is at the back of the homestead, near all the forestry equipment. So let's go grab that. It is. Right, let's get hitched up. Fantastic. Now this log trailer is pretty capable. It's going to take a decent size of log length. So let's get it back. We can get it parked next to the pile of logs and gauge how long we need the logs to be and get them cut down. It's going to be a manual chainsaw job, I'm afraid. There we go. So we can come in here and loop around. So there we go. I think that's about right. I just wanted the trailer to line up with the logs so we've got a place we know we can cut them. So yeah, this is the front bar where they're going to sit, and we want to make a cut probably around here so they're not hanging too far off the back of the trailer. They won't all be the same length. It's a bit of a rough and yeah, guesstimate job, but we will do our very best. So probably the best thing for me to do is get the chainsaw out and just go backwards, chopping each log, making sure we're staying fairly level. Right, so I'm going to see to this, and hopefully I can get these all cut fairly efficiently. And that is the last one. Now yes, not a straight line. I've obviously cut these ones a little bit shorter than the ones at the top there, but that's okay. And yeah, we may have to do this exercise again because we have quite some long logs here. In fact, it might be worthwhile because these logs are shorter. I think anything longer than that we may potentially wood chip. And this is probably another truck length, so our cuts are here, and if we go down, the next cut would be about here. So yeah, I think that's all probably going to get loaded on, and then we can save the rest for wood chips. So I'll just quickly get these cut. There we go. Don't want too many wood chips because, yeah, we want to make as much use of the wood as possible for building materials. Okay, so I think that is enough of using the truck to gauge the length of the logs. We can get that parked under the crane, and then we can start skidding some logs into and under the wood crane. There we go, I think that's going to be about right. So let's hop in the skidder and winch our first set of logs. I think I'll do them in 3s or 4s, just because the log crane can probably only lift about 3 or 4 at a time. There we go, that's 4. And I will have to make sure they all line up properly when they go under there so we can load them straight. Right, let's swivel around here. Right, there we go, that's best positioning for now. Let's see how this wood crane operates. Aha, so we are in it, and we can move from side to side and do the crane up and down. We can pivot it, and we can open it. There we go. So yeah, we need to start loading some logs, and yeah, probably best position to start with, probably this way or that way, I don't know. But yeah, we want to go back a little bit. Lower ourselves all the way down. There we go. Try and get in the middle if we can. Grab these four. Oh, wow. Actually, very, very capable at loading. Now, I need to make sure these are going to be loaded straight. Otherwise, yeah, things are not going to work very well. Yes, I need to pick things up straight. Otherwise, it's going to cause problems. So let's just lower that back down. And open up the claw. We want to move along a little bit more. Make sure we get the central. And then drop all the way down. Pick up. There we go. That's a bit better. Now I'll get used to these controls eventually. So, let's get this scooted in somehow. We want to be middle of the crane and leaning over it well enough. Hopefully I am leaning over it well enough. It's a bit tricky, this one. There we go. I think finally that's our first load in. And I am going to get the rest loaded and I'll see you when we're finished. Well, that was quite a long job. We can turn the skidder off, and I've dealt with the first row of the logs. We've got the second row to go. Now this is quite a long truck because I did load some of the logs a little bit further back, but it is our fourth load, and yeah, fair to say that I think I need a bit of practice with the log crane. It's quite difficult to operate, and it's always been that way with whatever log cranes I've operated in the past. Always a little bit finicky, and yeah, the log gravity is also very difficult to deal with. They all sometimes go off in different directions. Yep, the first pile of logs has been dealt with. We've got the second half and then the spindly bits to deal with for the wood chips. So we'll get this fourth load back to the homestead. Hopefully I can just push this barrier back into where it's meant to be on the way through. There we go, give it a little nudge. And we can get our fourth load unloaded. So yeah, I think we're about to fill out the bottom base layer of the wood storage yard. And we've of course been lifting logs with the crane, dumping them onto this log trailer and getting them stashed in the wood storage yard. And it's taken a fair old time, now into the afternoon. But yeah, I think we're probably going to have to do a part 2, which is loading the second layer of some of the bigger logs. So I'm going to take a break from that, I think, and move on to some wood chipping using the Vermeer wood chipper. So we'll get this unloaded, double back and do some wood chipping. I'm probably going to need a trailer to stash all the wood chips, but it will be probably good to get those spindly bits out of the way. Sometimes they do get in your way, and it might allow me to see where we've missed any cuts on the logs. Yeah, the truck has been coping quite well. It's heavy loads, and there was a little bit of a wobbly section where we nearly tipped it, but just about managed to stay upright. Now as for the wood crane, definitely did knock into the trailer quite a few times, and again almost tipped it. But yeah, we are using equipment that's new to us, so we have got to learn the ropes, so to speak. But one thing that we do know well is the wood storage yard and getting our wood nicely stashed away. So Tim has been doing a grand job for us, receiving these log trains and getting them all cut up into the wood storage yard. And there's our fourth load. So we have got 190,000 litres and 88. There we go. That is going to serve us quite well for the sawmill. I'd hazard a guess that I think we had about 40,000 litres left in the wood storage yard. So we've got about 60,000 litres of wood in there. I reckon we'll get another 40 to 50,000 litres from the second pile. And then, yeah, the wood chips will just go to the wood storage. We'll go to the wood chip sell point. Right, let's get the log trailer back. And then I think I'm going to use the pickup truck, because we've not used that in a little while, to go and get the Vermeer wood chipper. Go, the mighty wood crane. Let me know your thoughts on it. It's definitely an advancement in terms of technology, but it is very difficult to operate. I think we needed a little bit more practice on that, but didn't do too badly. No major accidents. Right, I want to go and grab the pickup truck so we can deal with all the spindly bits for wood chipping. Quick dash back and we'll hop in here, load up and get going. So yep, we want the Vermeer wood chipper. It's over at the distribution centre, but I think on my way I'm going to go grab the trailer, because we're going to need that, I think, to stash the wood chips that come out the other end of it. Not this one, but the one that's behind the grain silo. There we go. I think we might up the capacity on it as well, just so we can store enough wood chips. There we go, that's slightly bigger now, taller walls. And we could probably keep it that way now because we've got a taller hopper from our harvester, so that's going to make things a little bit easier. Right, let's go grab the wood chipper. Classic pickup this is. Glad we've got it on the homestead, but we don't use it too often, so yeah, it's nice to utilise it this time round. Right, we are here, and the wood chipper is round the back of the distribution centre. There we go. Hitched on, so we should be able to cart this over to the settlement area and start doing a little bit of wood chipping. There we go, we are a different kind of log train at the moment. There we go, so I think we will set up shop somewhere over here. I want to get the cover off on the trailer whilst I remember. And yeah, if we just line up here, we should be able to do our wood chipping. Fantastic. Right. Just hop into the wood chipper. Not into it, I'm not chipping myself, but just so we can start the engine up. And that is us started. We can unfold it, get the stilts up. There we go. I think we can even start doing some beaconing. Fantastic. And then we can start up the wood chipper. So I think that spout is going to reach our trailer. But let's give it a go with one of our logs. Start with this one, and hopefully we're going to be wood chipping. There we go. We are chipping away, and our wood chips are hopefully going into the trailer. Hopefully the walls are not too tall. Okay, so I think the walls are a bit too tall on this. We might have to lower it down. So it looks like it does work. As we were pulling away, it did disperse into the trailer, so it must have just been a bit too close. Right, so we can work to get all of this chopped down. I am going to have to get my trusty axe out to cut some stuff down to size. Oh, hopefully not wasting bits, because yeah, we want to be able to pick up and utilise as much as possible. So let's get this log in there. There we go. And dispersing away. I've had to just play with this a little bit, make sure it's close enough actually. So yep, we are going to crack on, do some wood chipping, and see you when we're finished. Selling the second load of wood chips. I think we've got about 13,000 for the first load. See how much we get for the second load. There we go, 10,965, if my eyes are correct. And yeah, so we've earned about 23,000 from wood chips alone. That is pretty good. Now we've hitched up the wood chipper again, and we're bringing it back for the distribution centre because we are done for now. So the Forestry Commission can pick that up if they want it back. I'm sure they will. So we will leave that back there. There we go. And then we can drop this trailer back off at the homestead. But the pickup has worked pretty well for carting the wood chips in the trailer and also the wood chipper. So yeah, it's nice to actually get this out of the homestead and use it. So we'll drop the trailer off where we found it. There we go. And we can park up the pickup. And I think we'll park it here actually, because we'll use it to jet over to the new settlement area next time. There we go, we can see our wood crane in the distance. So yeah, I think that's probably it for today. We have a small pile of logs, smaller than the first pile at least, that's yet to be loaded up onto the log trailer and brought back to the wood storage yard. We've dealt with probably 2/3 and a third to go, and yes, there was a small fraction which was wood chipped, but that worked pretty well, so I'm happy with that. I think next time we are going to focus on getting the rest of that wood all loaded up, and then we could even start to build some settlement. But yes, we will have to tidy up the barriers and everything else like that. So loading, tidying up, and hopefully building our settlement. So it'll be a busy January. But I hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you've got any tips, tricks, or things you'd like me to do, then feel free to leave a comment. But all there's left to say is, I hope to see you again next time on the Frontier Farmer. And until then, I'll catch you later. Cheers all, and bye bye.